right, welcome to the podcast today. It is about 2 o'clock, Thursday, June 2nd. Feels good to be doing this, doesn't it?
It does. It's been a long time.
Well, I was nearly dying.
So I heard.
And we've had, I was going to try to pull us together last Friday, but I'm like, you know what? I got to use any of my voice I have left to get my weekend shows done. And after that, I'm not talking until Monday or Tuesday at the earliest. So,
yeah. It's running rampant, man.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's like, it's kind of like an STD at this point. Nobody, like, if you've seen the news, we're in the red, but nobody's talking about it.
Yeah, I think people just don't even want to acknowledge it.
Oh, I agree.
And not like I don't want to say it's not as bad, but I think those who are vaccinated and boosted and all of that, I think yes, you are down and out and pretty sick, but
did you die?
I'm right. I'm hoping that it's not as lethal as it was or could have been. So now it's just kind of more or less a really bad virus that, you don't want to get, but you're going to get. I don't know.
It's just, like, we all said this. Like, we all, no matter what your status was, you're like...
we knew it wasn't going to go away.
Right. But the fact that, like, we're now living that, it's a little, I don't want to say it's difficult or challenging, but it's a thing. Like, it almost disrupted your graduation, right?
Well, true. We had some difficulty with that, for sure.
Yeah. So it's disruptive, and those, you haven't gotten it, right?
No, I did have it. Remember, I had it and Madi had it, and I think Josh had it first, and he just didn't know because he gets sinus infections all the time. And it just seemed like a sinus infection, but I have a feeling he had it and just didn't know. And then I got it, and then Madi got it, and it was like in January-ish, which I usually get sick January, February anyway. Just like that's my yearly time to be super sick. But I was only sick for like 36 hours maybe. And even Madi was like, she was sick for a week, but it was kind of like a typical baby cold, toddler cold thing, flu. So, I mean, we made it out okay.
So from what I have come across, like that was old school Omicron. Like these are like numbered variants of it. And
yeah, I think it's worse now than when I had it.
I don't know about
January.
worse.
I think then it was just like a little, you were fine, you were okay, but people are getting pretty sick right now.
Yeah, it's and what I've gathered is it's different. Like, I didn't really have a fever, which is why I think urgent care just kind of sent me on my way with Claritin. But okay, you are a woman. Like there are certain things that women are endowed with: vaginas, breasts. You can make babies, and being able to put your hand on a forehead and go, he's warm. You're warm. If you would have put your head on my forehead a couple of days, you would have given me...
radiator?
No, but you would have said, you feel warm. I wasn't burning up. I wasn't sweating, but I wasn't my normal cool as a cucumber body temperature.
Right. Your temperature was elevated, and you could feel it.
Yeah, and it didn't show up, but I'm like, look, this doesn't feel... And Monday, I had a hell of a workout. And I thought some of the aches were just that. And the fact that I was out, like, taking a pollen shower over the weekend, trimming trees.
Yes, I know.
Like, I cut down, so I have these, whatever Josh would call, I have these heavy-duty bags.
The ones in your backyard? Are those the ones you were cutting down?
I was cutting down
in your backside.
Whatever I could reach, I was trimming. I also trimmed like on the sidewalk because the two big trees, people have to like duck under.
Yeah.
So I was basically bathing myself in pollen. So for the first couple of days, I'm like, it's pollen, it's the workout. But yeah, when the Claritin didn't do anything, I'm like, this Josh, very large human being, was in my small car and is now deathly ill. There's no way I didn't have it. So, take me off the board. I can no longer say that I'm impervious to it.
Yeah. like I said, everybody was gonna get it at some point. It wasn't. It wasn't if. It was when.
And I was a little worried because, like, this is the Omicron numbers, whether it's .1, .2, .4. It's not the Omicron from Black Friday. And it's different. It's not getting everybody the same way. Like this, I guess, doesn't get into your lungs. I haven't come across anybody or any story that is loss of taste or smell with where we are now. But it wasn't fun. It was a really nasty cold. And Tuesday, I was upset. I was anxious. Like I was a little disoriented. And once I finally got up and going and moving through my day yesterday, maybe that was just my body being fatigued and out of it from fighting a nasty virus. But it was a little worrying because I'm older than you guys, and I didn't want to. Not by much, but like I've heard about this COVID fog that lingers, and that was kind of scary to me.
Yeah.
And as this thing unfurled its uppercut through my ecosystem, I was like, holy shit, my dad was just here yesterday. So I was a little worried about that, but he had gotten out of town before this seemingly turned into a tornado of droplets.
Yeah. So did somebody at the radio station get it first? Is that where you got it from?
In all likelihood, yes.
Okay.
And I don't know who or whatever. Yeah. So, and Josh got it worst. He's still not back at work. Although today he said he was vomiting. I think he might be in his own head at this point, and he's continually testing positive. That's why he can't come back. But yeah, there's just some weird things with this. Like all my tests were negative, but as I learned, rapid tests are only good for positives, not necessarily negatives.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I would assume you had it.
Oh, I do. Yes.
All signs point to that. So.
One other. Well, I mean, it's a big thing. It's a serious thing, and I wanted to ask you about this last week. And we have probably discussed this more, but it keeps popping up. What was the fallout or the recoiling of another school shooting in your building last week?
I think we're all just kind of up in arms about it, but it was, I mean, like the last day of school for us, or kids were already gone. So there wasn't really much other than, those of us that are still here for the next week or two, or us that are here year round. I mean, it's like anytime now somebody can change something. And no, the teachers don't need guns in their hands. That is not the solution.
If we do give them guns, they should be allowed to bring in like heavier artillery than these lunatics come in with, because a handgun isn't going to stop them. Let me ask.
I'm so sick of it, and honestly, it's at the point where like I can't think about it, or I will spiral into a point where I won't be able to function and come to work every day. So it's so like. I feel so guilty trying to numb myself from the situation, but I'm like, it's only a matter of time. Like, it could obviously happen here. It could happen to one of my family members. Like, I have a lot of teachers in my family. And, like, I'm already thinking about homeschooling my kid because I cannot deal with this. Like, on top of everything else that is causing people anxiety nowadays, like, this does not need to be on top of all of that.
You have my sympathy, and I guess the only corollary I can make, the analogy I can make is 9/11. And what this is what did I read today? Like domestic white terrorism. It's a form of terrorism, and when you zoom out, you go, the chances of we were all terrified after 9/11 that it was just going to be a squadron of planes bombing us and all these terrible acts, and who knows how many were prevented before that. Well, we don't know, but the probabilities of these calamities are infinitesimal. But when it comes to kids in schools, which is basically somebody has basically every American has some kind of connective tissue to that. I can understand your complete irrational fear in the 1 in a zillion chance that could actually affect you personally, whether someone came into TSA, is a Madi thing. But of all the things that I am going to tell you that you're being irrational about, this is not one of them, just because of the scale of carnage and just how, again, it affects there are people who will never get on a plane ever again because of 9/11.
Right.
And we have not, unless you're on one of those Asian planes in the middle of the Pacific, like, you're far more likely to die in a car accident. Like, much, 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 much more likely to have something like that happen than a plane crash. But this stuff, the scale of the fear is infinite, and I get it. And
I mean, the list of mass shootings, specifically school shootings, like, when you look at that list and then you realize that we're talking 6 degrees of separation. Like, it is not that unlikely that something could or is going to happen, like, to you personally at this point. And it's just
it's a long list.
It's ridiculous.
You're talking decades, and it is, the chances are basically zero. But again, the fear,
that's what all these other people said. Do you know what I mean? Like, it just
look at all. It's a long, and look, and if you go back to, like, you can go back to the Sandy Hook 10 years ago, and how many schools have there been? And think of how many. I mean, there are, I think, 10, 20,000 schools. I mean, the numbers are really small. But again, I'm not going to dismiss your fear, because of, again, it's your family, it's your kids, and of all the places we grew up thinking that it was safe. School, like, you were more concerned about getting your ass kicked by a bully than anything like this. In fact, we'd all take ass kicking from bullies to put this thing to bed. So I get the terrifying nature of it. In fact, I was a little. So did you see the DeWine stuff, or this bill in the last 24 hours?
The one where teachers can bring handguns.
Yeah, and you have to read it because it says they have gotten rid of X amount of unnecessary hours of training. And I think people looked at that and said, you're just going to give them guns? I think that was training that was just going to waste people's time and wasn't maybe necessary. So I looked past that. But when I saw one politician say, you've asked us to do something, and now we're doing something. And it's like, yeah, this wasn't it.
Right. This is definitely not it.
Like, the last thing I want to see
the answer to this is not more guns.
Right. And I don't
absolutely not.
Gerke has enough of a power trip already. He doesn't need to be carrying any kind of artillery. I know that's a poorly timed joke, but yeah, arming teachers is dumb, because the first thing I think of is, I mean, I'm beginning to think that these are kind of unstoppable. Because, like,
they might be unstoppable, but there are definitely steps to diminish the amount that this happens.
What are they? What are the ones that jump to you?
People do not need to have access to automatic weapons.
Oh, okay.
At all.
I mean, safeguarding the school, because I agree with you there. Like, we need to bring that back up again. Like, if you need that to shoot Bambi and for sport, you need to pick up a different hobby. So I completely agree. Yep. But what about safeguarding the schools, like the one entrant exit thing, metal detectors, all that stuff?
I mean, yeah, you can do that, but I just, like, why do our kids feel like they need to go through Fort Knox to just go get an education?
Yeah, in fact, I read
like
something.
That just sets up a negative psyche.
Yes.
When your kid has to walk through a metal detector to go to school. Like, it's a daily reminder then that, oh, I could be shot today.
Yep.
I don't understand.
There are somewhat similarities. Like, look, there were times I had baked into my head, like, so we're all going to die in a fire. We're doing a fire drill. But I read something the other day that opened my eyes to how the shooter drills, you do these drills at TSA, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to tell you something, and I read it and my mind was blown, and let me know if this has crossed your mind. I read, obviously, the psychological effect can be quite frightening, but in a lot of cases, the people that attempt this or do this are students at the school. So you're basically training them where all the kids and adults are going to run to. So you're like
Yep.
you're like giving them the blueprint of how to pick
Yep.
off the bodies. Like
100%.
no, like we have to shut that thing down right away.
When this whole thing started, that's what I didn't understand. I go, okay, so, like, I don't know the statistics, but a lot of times they have a connection to the school, whether it's
Yeah.
a student or a parent or, whatever. So they know exactly where everybody's going to go. They know exactly where the safe meeting zone is after the fact. They have all of this information, so they can easily plan around it.
Yep.
Like, you're not making anybody safe.
Yep. Yeah, we got to shut these things down like ASAP. I wish we could take all these measures. God, this dumb amendment that's several hundred years old. The thing
That was put in place when people took a minute and a half to reload their musket.
Well, and we were not worried about our own government. We were worried about a king.
Or wild animals.
Yes.
I don't understand.
The thing that like terrifies me, and I guess it's actually good. We are so in love, in the same way that we're in love with fast food in this country. Like if you shut down all the fast food restaurants, we would be up in arms. It would have a Second Amendment type of outcry and outrage. We love guns so much that these people who obviously have there's issues. It sucks that the other side can go, well, it's not guns, it's mental health. I mean, it's a lot of things, and mental health and like reasonable, well-adjusted human beings don't shoot these places up anywhere. But I'm actually thankful in some.
But people have also made the point that like the people that are in the most mental health distress or should be in the most mental health distress are not the ones committing these crimes.
No, but
these crimes are being committed by white males.
Oh, absolutely.
Not like disenfranchised, minority women. Like I just. Oh
but mental health is an enormous, almost infinite spectrum.
It's absolutely an issue.
There's a lot of ways that brains can be broken, and I'm not letting these people off the hook. But my point was the fascination with guns that is stamped into the helixes of our DNA is so unbreakable that why don't you just do this with vehicles? Like, I am still shocked that after Bastille Day in 2016, when that person ran that vehicle through people and killed like 80 people like that, like, you can't stop that. But it shows you our love of guns. Mm-hmm. And I would hope that if by some way, shape, or form we could wave a magic wand and all the guns that we wanted went away, that it wouldn't go over to that. But I think at some point it would, because we have a lot of... Did you see this medical facility shooting? It was an angry patient. He was unhappy that he was still in pain. And I hate to say that, like, this is what we've come to. This very likely could have happened years ago, but now in the crucible that we've been in, this was an unhappy patient and he killed the doctor. Like, we're settling it like it's like the 9th century all over again.
I know. Well, and let someone who is so in love with their guns and so willing to fight for that tell me that they're a pro-life person, because you're obviously not, because there are innocent children and teachers dying at the hands of these guns that you're in love with. So you're not pro-life. That's not the argument. Don't tell me that's the argument, because it's not.
There's a lot of hypocrisy over on that side. A lot.
I'm just... I have to avoid these conversations right now because it's just going to get me in trouble. Like, I don't understand.
What's your thermostat set at?
I think it's like in the range between 72 and 75
Do you and
right now.
Josh live on the same thermostat temperature, or is it a
Yeah.
back and forth?
Um, no, we just kind of set it and forget it.
Okay.
But we have like the Nest or whatever, so we can set a range. So it's like cool if it gets to this point, heat if it gets to this point, and then once it's like officially summer and it doesn't dip at night anymore, then we just set it at one temperature.
I hope it's officially summer. I thought officially summer showed up, and now it has walked away.
Well, I think it'll consistently be 70 for a while.
That's not summer. That's what spring used to be.
Well, spring took a sabbatical.
Yeah, it's going like in a very circuitous route for us getting warm weather. I mean, yeah, so it was June 1st or June 2nd last night. It was 50-some degrees in the overnight, but whatever. The weather too is as broken as a lot of the people. What was Maddie jamming out to last night?
Maddie and I went to Patty Jack's with my parents. We usually go out to eat with them on Wednesdays because Josh works late, and it was just like probably some classic rock like satellite station, but every song that came on was just like her favorite song, and she was getting it. Like eyes closed, like rocking her head back and forth, chowing on her grilled cheese and tomato soup. She was having the best time. But it was so funny because I'm like, I don't think you've heard any of these songs. Like maybe she has, like, because I'm sure both of her grandfathers, that's the music they listen to. But it was just so funny. Like she acted like it was her favorite song every time a song came on. It was just really cute.
Let her live. She is a
She can
boisterous
live.
young woman. What's up?
She loves her music.
What new behaviors has she picked up? Are we still doing dog bowl eating? What's up with her?
No, we've moved away from the dog food, thankfully. She's moved on to other foods. She just eats. She eats all day, every day. All day, every day. Like so when I pick her up from the babysitter, if I don't have a snack ready when I pick her up, it's meltdown city. Like she acts like she didn't eat all day, so she has to have a snack. So I like, for instance, in any given day, between 4:30 when I pick her up and dinner time, she will have eaten like a fruit pouch, some frosted mini wheats, maybe fruit snacks. She might have had goldfish. She might have grapes. She might have popcorn. Like the kid just constantly eats.
She's a
Eats
grazer.
and eats and eats.
She's
She
a
is a
grazer.
grazer. Her recent love she has found for some green beans. She was mowing on green beans the other night. Mac and cheese is still her favorite food group, but she eats constantly. Anything and everything.
Does that mean there's a lot
I
of
give her, she'll
pooping?
eat. I mean, I would think that she would have to go a little more than she does. But I was kind of like that when I was little. I had some bowel issues where I didn't go as often as I should have.
Are we like where are we on the field when it comes to getting closer to potty training?
We are slowly making connections. She has a little potty chair, like a little baby toddler potty chair in the bathroom next to the real toilet. So she knows that's a potty. She knows that mom and dad sit on the potty, but I don't think she knows like what happens on the potty, but she knows it's a potty. She knows that you sit on it. So we're slowly just trying to organically make connections until she figures out what exactly she's supposed to do. And then I really think she's so smart, like too smart at picking things up and making connections with things very quickly that I don't think it will take very long to potty train her at all once she figures it out. So I'm just going to let it happen organically because honestly, it's kind of sad. Like in a way, I don't want to potty train her because then, like, once diapers are gone, then, like, she's not my baby anymore.
But do you know how
And
much
then she's
money
like an
you'll
actual
save?
big kid. I know, but then she's like an actual big kid, and it's just like, it kind of makes me sad.
Well, let's wait till she has a fuller head of hair before we put that cart before the horse.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even put her hair in pigtails or a ponytail. I can't make her potty trained.
What other milestones are on your horizon that you're keeping an eye out for?
I'm just waiting for more curse words.
Have there been any
Honestly.
new ones? Is she just saying lots of fucks and things?
No, no. It was she said the shit word one time, and I really haven't heard anything else. So it's been a miracle. Um, right now she's really into getting songs down. So like the wheels on the bus
Okay.
is one of her favorites right now. We're getting that song down, and I like to eat apples and bananas. That's another one of her favorites right now. But it's when she does it, it's like eat eat bananas. But like, that's the song she's trying to sing. It's really cute.
What shows is she into?
We don't watch a lot of TV. Like if she watches TV, it's like Paw Patrol.
Hmm. All right.
But that's about it. I'm Bubble Guppies. She still likes Bubble Guppies. But we don't, especially recently, like we have been outside all the time. Um, so we don't really watch a lot of TV right now.
Will there be a lot of outside things this weekend, like maybe bark in the park on Saturday?
Oh my God, is that Saturday? So
Yes.
Saturday morning we have to do the Old West End parade.
Yeah, I saw you guys
I
listed.
have to do that for school.
Who
Yeah.
like what part of TSA is performing?
So we're gonna have a trailer float that I have to decorate tomorrow or Saturday morning. But we're gonna have Glass City Steel on the little trailer, and then we started a new award called the Joyce Perrin Award, and Joyce Perrin was like a really cool lady in the Old West End area that supported the arts and everything. And a couple of her friends started this award scholarship fund for one of our staff members. And so this was the first year that we awarded it. And Mel Pryor is the recipient. And so every year we're going to have that recipient carry a sign in the parade in honor of Joyce. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna have a bunch of kids like throwing out candy and just I'm calling it like Old West End / Pride Parade because I want it to have that same like exciting feel because I love like the Pride. I hate parades. The only parade that I like is the Pride Parade. So I'm like, we're just gonna make this a glorified Pride Parade for TSA.
Yeah, I think there's some comparisons, some similarities there, and then the Pride Parade should be back in a couple of months, so
Yeah, I
far as
hope
I
so.
know.
I hope so.
Are you?
So that I know we're doing that Saturday morning, but I do want to go to Bark in the Park. Do you know what time it starts? Or what time it goes through?
I don't think it goes that late. Maybe new. Like I'm there 9 to 11,
Yeah.
so maybe
I
maybe
know
no
they
more
try
than
to do
12
it.
or 1.
They try to do it in the morning before it gets too hot.
I will.
I don't know if
I'll
we'll make it.
shoot you a text with some info. Are you an Old West End Festival person? I think it's gonna be big. It will be bigger than ever this year because they've added the Glenwood area to push people down to, and I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be. It's going to be, I don't want to say like chaos or Armageddon, but it's going to be thousands of people because
It's
this.
going to be a big deal. I love the Old West End Festival, and I was like diehard go all the time, especially when I lived there. But then it kind of fell off, like with COVID, and so I feel like it hasn't been a thing in my world for a while. So I'm really excited to get back in it.
Yeah, I think many people feel like you. I thought last year we were going to sneak it in, but we just didn't get vaccines rolled out fast enough. I thought it would have been
Yeah.
neat if we could have pulled something off, like a mini version of it in September.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is going to be huge this year. Let me. So I had Daniel Fink. He was kind of doing like media stuff, and he gave me some house tour passes to give away, and I had him on earlier, and I already put up one podcast episode. He told me, gave me the rundown for everything, but let me run some of these food trucks by you because some of
Oh, so excited.
so there people follow food trucks like they used to follow bands across the country.
There's an app that you can follow food trucks now.
For in the Toledo area.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
it
God,
called?
Hold on. I'm gonna look up what it's called. It's called like Street. Street Food Finder. Let me look and see if that's the right thing. Yeah, I think it's called it is Street Food Finder. It's an app that you can download. And it's not all the food trucks, but it's a lot of the food trucks in our area, and it's like a schedule, and you can look up like where they are, what day. It's really helpful.
Let me run some of these by you.
Because we're constantly trying to find food trucks.
And I've only heard of a couple of these. Not the ones I'm mentioning. Porky's Sweet Spot. Maybe Cheese Born with It. Frenzy on the Go. D's Barbecue, a place I like a lot.
Yeah.
Mustache Mike's. They do the
Oh,
Italian
that's
ice.
Amazing. Yes,
Yeah, it's
so
really good.
They actually have a storefront off of Burn and Door.
No, I think that place closed. That because they were in.
Did it?
They were in with the cheesesteak place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't
that
last.
Would suck.
Quinn's Concession, Big Meals on Wheels, Island Delights, Karen Ann's Kettle Corn, North End Community Committee, Betty Jean's Shack. There's just a long, long list. So some unfamiliar names, and it's going to be a really big party. A party like 3 years in the making.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
What about
outdoors, food trucks?
So
I'm there.
Will you stay? Will Maddie be with you for the TSA stuff, or will you go back?
Yeah, no, I'm planning on the fam going down for the parade, and I assume we'll stay and walk around. So I'm excited.
Has Gerke ever been like the grand marshal or like a front facing star of it?
No, but he is driving the van this year.
Okay.
So,
what else is planned for your weekend?
I don't know. I think I have a grad party on Saturday. And I know I have one on Sunday. Actually, Gerke's son's grad party's on Sunday, so I have to go to that. Just more being outside, more swimming.
Nothing wrong with that. Do you want to invite the dogs over to come swimming?
Yeah.
How
throw them in
the pool? No, let's not throw them in.
We can get the doggy baby pool out for them.
That might be better. I'm almost reticent to talk about bark in the park because people like just assume I'm bringing the dogs, and that's not a thing because Diddy's too wild and Andre's too shy, so it just doesn't work out.
I think if you gave them a chance, they would do better. Like the more that you took them out and conditioned them, they would enjoy it.
No, I get it.
They're the princes of Toledo.
Nah, not quite. Don't tell them that. You want to talk? Oh God, their dog food. I think I texted you this. Their dog food has gone up so much the last couple of months. I mean, like everything else.
Listen, dog food has either skyrocketed or they don't even make it anymore. This is. I have changed their food 2 times in the last month or two because I didn't like the one food they were on. Then I moved to a different food, and now they just stopped making it, or the stores aren't carrying it anymore. And so now I had to go to another food. And I'm like, it's just annoying. And I'm trying to pick foods that they sell at Kroger because then Josh gets a discount because he's a Kroger employee. But it is difficult out here.
Has there been a lot of runny poop because of that?
No, they're usually fine about when I switch food. I kind of do like half and half for a couple of days, and they're usually fine. Oh my God, you know what else is happening this weekend? OLPH Festival.
I forgot about that.
There's a lot of things this weekend.
Maple and Maine is happening this weekend.
Oh my gosh.
The Perrysburg Dora got expanded. There's a truck thing at the Speedway. There's 2 hockey
their
games
farmers market
this
is
weekend.
Tonight.
Who's farmers market?
Perrysburg. Perrysburg Thursday nights is always their farmers market. So that's
I keep thinking it's Friday. God, yeah.
Friday, no,
today's Thursday. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah, there is a ton going on this weekend. Like not everything's going to be as successful as they would like. Did you watch Stranger Things?
Not yet. I want to. I heard it's really dark though, so I have to get myself in a mental space.
They're 20-somethings now. They're not kids anymore.
Yeah, but still.
And do you have any thoughts on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff, or did you follow it as non-existently as I did?
I didn't really follow it, but from what I have gathered, I am happy with the result. So,
Yeah, I don't know. They seem like two awful people who treated each other equally awful. And I might
yeah,
be.
I think they don't go well together, but I also feel like she was dishonest and not the best person. And so I'm glad that they didn't just, you know, award everything to her because she was the female victim in the situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they were both horrible to each other, and I think they were both victims of each other. Um, but yeah, I felt like it it turned out the way it should have.
Okay. All right. Well, it was lovely to visit with you, and yeah, I'm gonna because I have to go to the Pinnacle tonight. I think it makes
Fancy.
sense. Yeah. Well, tonight. Is it? To me,
That
I and
Pinnacle
I
seems fancy to me.
is it. I mean, it's a venue, and sometimes I confuse the Pinnacle and the Premiere because they're both P's and they're both venues. But I figure it's easier for me.
And then there's Parkway Place. They're all P's.
Which I've never been to. Have you?
Really? The one off the trail? Yeah, I've been there.
Never been there.
I've been all those places several times.
I figure it's just to get from work to the Pinnacle. It's not that inconvenient for me to drive home, hop on 475, and then do that. So I'll feed the dogs. So sorry.
Yeah, no, it's really close for you.
Sorry, I took that opportunity away from you.
It's okay.
I was looking.
I'll get my Andre cuddles another day.
I was looking for some biting criticism about something going on in my home that you're displeased with.
I also don't want COVID, so I was gonna wear a mask in your house.
No, well, you think COVID is like creeping in the corners like spiders?
I don't know.
No, like
No. There's no windows to open, so it's probably just festering in there.
No, it dies. You'd have to like go upstairs and I don't know what you would have to lick. Like you could lick my bar of soap and no,
I'm not licking anything.
There'd be no way you'd get COVID. So that's not how it works.
Okay.
All right, I'll be in touch.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, y'all.